So, we're gonna need it. Welcome to Venom, Andross' home world that he kind of trashed.
Yeah, I mean, look at all that red sky. Like, geez, that'd make Batman jealous.
Well, there's the base right there.
Wait, what the?
Why is that Band-Aid?
Wolfen 2. And,
this would be all the more impactful if we actually fought you guys back in Ficina.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Andrew must have got. Can you imagine the injury to sustain to have to get cybernetic eyes?
Yeah.
Who names one of their evil pilots Andrew?
Well, Andrew is Andrew's nephew.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, that was just a poor naming choice. Sorry, kid.
Well, I mean, it was either that or he could go by his surname, YUICHI.
And it sounds a lot better than Andrew. Andrew, I don't like that.
I was just about to say,
I'm always like a stick.
I think we talked over a Great Leon online where it's like, I am the Great Leon!
Well, I like that too, and don't worry, Pi. Oh yeah, and Pigma's freaking Peppy's old partner, and
yeah.
I am hopeful for Fox in Space, because it looks like it's going to explore the origin story of this world.
And also, just the thing with Pigma that we kind of play around with is that, like, in the original fight against Andross with Fox's dad, Peppy, and Pigma was on their team, Pigma turned out to turn turncoat and pretty much sold them out to Andross.
Yep, and betrayed them, and many believe, and some believe that it was Pigma who like fired the first shot like at. Hang on, I say pause there. Some people believe that Andrew was the one who fired the first. That Pigma fired the first shot from behind that really did James in without, because he wasn't prepared for it.
It was clearly Wolf.
I don't think Wolf was even there for that.
Well, I'm making fun of the fact that there's actually a handful of people that like to believe that Wolf was the one that killed his dad.
I mean, it's possible Wolf was working for them. Again, it looks like the origin story may. I don't know. I'm curious to see.
I mean,
how Fox
yeah. In all
it.
fairness, like as far as the Star Fox canon is concerned, like Wolf and James did have a fair, they did have some sort of connection. Not a good one, but there was one that was hinted at. Which I guess I'm gonna say all these people believing that it was Wolf that played the final blow, but I mean, I'm not sure. Like, it feels like Pigma had a more direct involvement with James' death than Wolf did.
But we'll say I'm a bit of a stickler. My favorite Star Wolf guy is Leon. I love his voice. I love how sophisticated yet evil he is.
It's definitely a far cry from what you'd expect from him, which would probably be a little more sinister and slimy.
Which is
right?
kind of
Yeah.
what they went with his assault.
Yeah.
But instead he's but instead he just has the same voice of he has a calm voice of Andross. We asked us to eliminate you.
I will ask though, since we didn't actually fight these guys back in Ficina, what would you guys imagine would be the whole reason why they got so banged up in the first place?
Dodgeball
I shot him.
Wait, you shot him?
you just walked up and.
Oh, you never told us you got a flying license.
I don't.
So with that said.
Now I have this image in my mind where it's like they're at the bar drinking, just Pi walks up to him with a shotgun, it's like, wait, what do we ever do to you? I don't know!
So for some reason, even though all of his crewmates were totally okay, Fox decides to go it alone and take down Andross himself.
You know, in hindsight, I really should have let him borrow my sneaking pants.
Andross never would have known what hit him.
No sneaking apparel will save you, Star Fox.
Alright, let's do this and fight, and let me show you the real reason why I can never record this fight.
Sweet Jesus Christ!
God damn it.
This is the boss that does it.
And it slows down to 20, and so this point I'm going to be showing Sunao's footage.
Stop.
Because, I'm sorry, I beat the fight fair and square, but this is the interesting thing that I was telling James is, while I was fighting Andross, especially in all range mode, it was so weird. When I wasn't looking at him, the game ran perfectly. The second I turned to look at him, everything slowed down to 10% footage. But yeah, you just shimmy the eyes.
It just couldn't handle all that flabby monkey flesh.
Yeah. Oh, sweet Jesus Christ! I'm gonna have nightmares. Satan help me.
As did many players did.
So, Andross, you show your true form.
It's so weird with Andross. What? How? Is it ever? I'm curious if a Fox in Space is going to address this. How does Andros become this weird metallic thing when he was just a monkey scientist? Or
I don't know. Why does a creepy clown turn into a giant spider? We may never know.
I mean, for all I care, it's probably the same reason why Dr. Rim in Slide 3 was essentially their world's equivalent to Umbrella. He probably, I mean, considering Andros' science, he probably dabbled in that kind of freakish mumbo jumbo too.
Oh.
So huge thanks again to Sunao for this footage. The way it works is you have to take out the eyes as they are shooting at you, and then on his brain itself, it took him a while to find it. You have to shoot where like the medulla oblongata would be, or the cerebellum, whatever the base of the thing. Just shoot that. Just shoot the base of its spine.
It's awkward though.
Says it smells like burnt toast.
What's awkward though is that if you're not careful with this boss fight, you could get trapped by all the tentacles sticking out, and it'll hurt you really bad and take out both your wings.
I thought it'll just turn into a Japanese fetish porn, but that's just me.
Because that happened to me. Because that happened to me, James. James.
Oh.
Speaking of which.
Huh?
Because yes, as you're noticing from the wing counter, that happened to me earlier. So now I got to go through this whole section with no wing control.
No pressure, son. I got your back. Or rather, you have my back.
And actually, just son, when you make it out of live, I want you to do me a favor. Yes, Dad? Tell Peppy to give me back my sneaking pants.
All this time. Fox.
But he always told me you gave it to him as a keepsake.
He actually stole them while I was out on vacation.
Oh.
He was the true traitor, Fox.
No. Now I know everything.
He sold out all of Corneria all over a deviled pants.
Is it actually possible to game over if you accidentally do not follow the correct direction from James?
Yeah, because you'll lead right into a dead end.
Oh.
Ouch. But we did it!
Yay!
So do you believe...
Dad, would you ever take me out to drinks sometime? Okay, goodbye.
So we've talked about this a lot, and I'm curious what you think of it, Pi. Do you think that was actually James and he survived somehow, or was that a hallucination?
Hallucination. It's a Star Wars reference.
Oh.
I don't know why it feels like it.
Considering Star Fox is essentially a glorified Star Wars parody.
Exactly.
Oh, and I do think this is cute. He's all wistfully like, what?
Yeah.
What the hell? I must be on shrooms or something. I'm saying shit.
Nothing's wrong.
It's so cute.
Aside from the fact you took my dad's sneaking pants.
How could you do?
No, I was gonna say no. Even better, I would love the more smarmy like, you stole my dad's sneaky pants. Well, I knew it was only a matter of time that you would learn the truth. Anywho, so here I think it's a hallucination. I do think in Zero it may. I still think in Zero I think it actually is James McCloud. I think he did survive, and he was just in that parallel, warped dimension that they had trapped him and Andros in. Because not only do you see him, but you remember he also distracts Andros enough for you to get the last hit on him.
Yeah.
Actually,
so I do think in Zero's timeline James did survive and had just been trapped there, a la Ant-Man and the Wasp, for a long time.
Oh,
that's true. But actually, just going back to that, it's like,
oh, cat.
Yeah.
Hey.
But just going back to that whole sneaking pants saga, it's like, I'll tell you what, you can take back the sneaking pants if you can fit in them.
Well,
only a true McCloud could. And he tries him on, and he's like, "You're becoming more like your father." I'm sorry, we're in a silly mood today. Go ahead.
I mean, honestly, considering the fact that Pepe's already stretched them out like nothing else, I think it'd be next to impossible.
well,
Actually, you know what? That'd be the test where it's like, try them on and inherit the sneaking pants. It just flaps down and goes, I did not think this through.
No, I prefer the smarmy responses of, "You are not yet ready."
Hold on. No, hold on. I got a better idea. It's like, Fox, put him on. He tries to put him on, and he just dropped out. Wait, when did you suddenly get robotic legs?
Oh no. So
well,
yeah.
I guess the secret's out, huh?
So yeah, I mean, we've talked about it before. Star Fox is still a really, the game had to have been solid for it to have lasted this long. And again, the story and the concept is still fairly unique for a Nintendo property, and I haven't seen them try this with anything else. We have had them do stuff with
They haven't tried this yet, except for the Wii U, 3DS.
With any other franchise, you know what I mean? I mean, I still did like what they did with Star Allies. That was kind of a surprise.
I don't know why, but Fox looks like a corgi, like a very angry corgi.
Honestly, I do believe Fox, despite being a fox, is actually loosely based on a Shiba Inu.
Oh,
he does look more like that.
Oh yeah,
good old Saint Bernard.
There we go.
We are in your debt.
God, I just remember way back in the original N64 version, this entire thing was
sir.
all those soldiers and this entire building was just a pre-rendered image.
Yeah, it was just a back to it. Oh, what the?
I will admit, I did love that bit where it's like, we'd like you to join our... No thanks, sir. We prefer doing things our own way.
And I still love that the only animation Falco gets is, come on, come on.
I got Taco Bell waiting. I have it on Grubhub, man.
They don't get the walkers here. They got.
Dang it, Fox! Give me back my sneaking pants.
Hey, Fox, just give me back the sneaky pants already. We're tired of hearing about it.
No, we're throwing this joke out for good. Just as I can find the nearest cliff to drop them.
and then Slippy's like, why are we running?
We could have just called. We could have just beamed up hours ago.
Or called an Uber or something. I don't know. Do they exist?
All right, let me try and reuse. Let me just reuse one. No, I can't reuse that. That one was stupid. So, I still enjoyed this, and playing on the 3DS. Again, I think the most I can say is that it is Star Fox 64 to a T. If you like Star Fox 64, you will like this.
Honestly, if you don't mind the the change in vocal delivery, this is pretty much the definitive edition of Star Fox 64.
And someone stole their ship. It's just
Rob,
Wait a minute!
Sorry.
Look, who's that on the cockpit? It's the Sneaking Pants! It comes in sentient!
I was gonna say it was me. It was me. Hi! I stole your shit.
I was gonna say it was Cat.
Meanwhile, I was just imagining the sneaking pants. Did you ever see that episode of Jimmy Neutron when the pants came on?
Oh, yeah. That was literally the show. That was literally the pilot. Yeah, the first episode that aired after the movie.
Yeah.
Huh. But yeah, I'm just imagining the sneaking pants upright, just like that, piloting the great. Anyway, they went off, and if you did not get the good ending, Andros would be like, "Surprise! I am the sky now." But I beat him for good, so thank you, Ear Force, for protecting us from ear infections everywhere.
I thought it was Deer Force.
I'd missed a letter if they did.
Oh no, wait, that's Super Metroid.
And with that said, I do have to give off at least one other. Show it up. I gotta give off one last. Show the neck. No, that he said. I don't think it was Yamuchi. It had to be one other guy. Show it.
I don't think they showed off in this credit sequence, but they showed off in the next credit sequence because.
Oh, you're right.
This is the 3DS version.
Which is true. Those were, I think, the original N64 credits. Here's the staff who did all the porting for the game.
Oh.
And I do love this mix that they made specifically for this game.
Again, do not mind the slight little.
Okay, so
I see the lights at the bottom. It's a tiny city.
I forgot there was.
It's a tiny little city. Yeah, it's Mega Man.
Yeah.
I forgot there was a second. I forgot that there was a second set of credits. That explains why it's double A long.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So,
actually, I forgot to mention the 3DS version of Star Fox 64 was actually developed by Q Games, the same people that made Command, and the one at the helm was Dylan Cuthbert, who pretty much worked on worked with Star Fox as early as the very original and 2.
Dang.
So yeah, there's definitely a little bit of sentimental value with this project.
I can tell.
And yeah, other than that, I guess I had to talk about a negative. The only negative I can really think of is that if you were not a fan of Star Fox 64, I don't think this would change your mind. The controls are a bit better since on 3DS, but it is still at its heart the same game. I had fun with it though. You know what, Pi? What did you think of your first little venture with us into Star Fox?
What do you think of my sneaking pants?
I swear you could be my crazy uncle, Peppy.
I will take that.
Oh goddamn! Add to the head cannon.
Just as soon as I sign the papers.
Oh good god!
But yeah, go ahead, Pi.
I have to say, since I've known a little bit of Star Fox, I hadn't played the games for myself as much because I'm not very good at them. If I played this on my 3DS, I would enjoyed it fairly enough. I wouldn't take the hard route like you did, just seeing all the twists and turns. I'm like, oh god, this is too much.
Well,
Yeah,
again,
that's
the
totally
the good thing is that you actually don't even have to do all those hard missions just to get the hard mode ending. You just have to find a way to get yourself to Area 6, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, which means you can take easy. It means you could do some easy missions up until that point and quickly shift upwards. And again, the 3DS thing allows you to do alternate missions really easily. It's fairly accessible, I think.
Which is actually another thing I almost forgot. Like, unlike the original Star Fox 64, there actually is just a regular score attack mode where you could literally, if you've actually played them in the story mode, you can just return to the other levels whenever you want.
Huh. Some replayability. I want the game. When I do.
Oh, good, because it is still in the 3DS eShop last I checked.
Yeah, I still have my 3DS. It's just sitting there next to my little baby brother's one.
It's just sitting there waiting for its life support to end.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate reason.
Yeah. What did you think of this then, James?
I mean, it's pretty much the same Star Fox 64 experience, just a little tighter and a lot prettier. Like, there's actually some levels that we actually haven't seen, like, considering the fact we actually didn't take the other routes. Like, if you actually compare, like, the original Solar to the new one, like, holy shit, it is a massive glow up.
Nice. Also, I believe this 3D also had some sort of wireless multiplayer functionality as well.
There was. I don't think there was online per se, but there was a wireless multiplayer mode. Yes, where you and a couple friends, kind of like the original game, could literally just partake in dogfights.
Cool.
Oh, cool.
If
Which is a
only
few
I
feet
had
before it was
friends.
Aw.
But I have you guys.
It's just a shame we
And
don't
then,
live that close to each other.
Yeah, it's like.
I'll
but
take
have
what
you
I
guys.
can get.
It's like, but I have you guys. I
Oh,
guess you
hold that.
count as friends.
Oh, hold that
hang on.
thought. I think we're about to come
Yep,
to
we'll
the
see
man
it.
himself.
Salute.
There he is.
Yep.
Salute.
I don't know why I'm saluting like a dork right now.
Which is
Hi, what did you...
also appropriate considering the fact that he was Peppy in those puppet shows.
Yeah,
Aww.
it's so cute. And
It's also
I guess
appropriate because I think Zero was the last game he worked on.
Yeah, it was.
Ugh, don't remind me. It
So
still
while-
hurts
so while
my
we're-
heart.
no continues.
Oh,
So while we're approaching the end thing, Hype, what did you think of this?
It's Star Fox 64, but on the 3DS.
Fair enough.
That is good. Let's see what
Tighter,
my
it's
final
slicker,
score
it's
was.
better, and
Oh, hang on, I gotta type in a user. I gotta type in.
Oh, right.
They actually let you type in a test because I didn't think this was gonna work.
Gee, I wonder which name
Test.
you're gonna. Oh, okay.
so you just
I actually
recorded your
didn't
own
think it was
test
gonna
run.
work. I actually didn't think it was gonna work, but
You should have
define
put
all-
sneaking
Oh,
pants.
wait.
Steep bill. But it's worth it.
Oh.
yay!
He didn't say the what.
Yeah, you gotta get an insane score to get the one.
But yeah, I was about to say, I'm somewhat proud of you, Logan. You defied expectations.
I didn't think it was gonna work. Sign the bill. Take the money. We're going out. We're getting Domino's tonight, boys.
Yeah! But I want Taco Bell. Screw you, it's Domino's. Okay.
Wait,
Thank you, Peppy. Always a tutorial to the very end. Rob, shut. I know I've been playing for more than an hour. Gosh dang it. 15-minute break.
Yeah,
that was
that
Star
was
Fox 64.
that was unfortunately something that played a good handful of 3DS games for a little while. The fact that
Yeah.
every 10 to 30 minutes, or excuse me, every 30 minutes or so, you get a prompt from somewhere saying that, hey, you've been playing this game for a while. Why don't you take a break?
Because
No.
3D can hurt your eyes. But yeah, anyway,
Ooh.
so, with that said, that was Star Fox 64 3D. I think now with that, the only game we haven't tackled that would involve any form of Star Fox
it's Starlink.
would be Adventures.
Oh.
Well, yeah, there's Star Fox Adventures, and yeah, there's Starlink, Battle for Atlas, which I still got to get around to actually recording sooner or later.
Because there are some good stuff in that. I do like the teaser we saw of Wolf and the Star Fox campaign. That looks great.
It's good for what it's worth. If you don't mind the rest of the game just being your typical Ubisoft game that just pads out stuff for the sake of padding.
Fair. But yeah, with that said, we're almost done with this whole franchise up until this point. I would love to see some of the games ported to the Switch or a new one even. Gosh, that'd be so... I want some more surprises, Nintendo. You've been doing so well at this point. I really want to keep that surprise going. You have so many properties anyway.
Yes.
Thank you all so much for joining us.
Till next time,
And
guys.
with that, I'm officially putting these pants in the incinerator.
Yeah! Burn them! Burn 'em!
Fox, I just remembered a very good reason why I never got rid of those pants.
Huh?
I'm not wearing anything underneath.
Give him back!